Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm your host, Clay, Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take, for Sunday night, Super Bowl Sunday night, February the 9th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Hey everyone, I hope you're well. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you are still okay from today's result. If you're cheering for the Kansas City Chiefs, my condolences. If you're cheering for the Philadelphia Eagles like I was, congratulations to you. 40-22, probably the score flattered Kansas City a little bit, too little, too late. But I'm not going to talk too much about that unless you guys want to talk about that later. I have enough to talk about between Quinn Hughes withdrawing from the Four Nations tournament, Four Nations face-off, and I vlogged about that. I vlogged it really well. I think most of you guys are in agreement with that, and I want to talk about some of the nuances behind that decision and what it means for the Vancouver Canucks and for Team USA, of course. Then I want to talk about our Vancouver Canucks and why are they the hottest team since January the 25th? Why are they 6-1-1, 13 points in their last 16 games? Why have they kind of not secured, but flopped places with Calgary in the standings to now be the favorite to get the second wild card spot? So I'm going to talk about all of that, and related to that is my poll question. I said, which are the Canucks newcomers? And I say newcomers, and I shake like that when I say newcomers because I included DPD in there. He wasn't traded to us in the past 2 weeks, but he is he made his Canucks debut with us at the same time that these new guys basically did. So you have four choices. Obviously, the three guys that came over: Filip Chytil, Drew O'Connor, Marcus Pettersson, and I threw DPD in there as well. And I think DPD might be winning the poll, but I will see in a few minutes. But before we get going, let's honor it. The face says Swervin Irvin, but the name says Jakes Gives Hockey. So I'm still going to call him Swervin Irvin. So before I even do the call out for donations, Swervin Irvin gets them going. So let's give Swervin Irvin some love in the chat for gifting 5 memberships, even though his name says Jakes Gives Hockey. What a great way to start the show. What a great way to start the week. You guys know I count Sunday as the start of the week, not the end. So thank you to Jakes Gives Hockey. Oh, I can't believe I said that. Thank you to Swervin Irvin. And they go to Jovito. Love to see it. Leah Herring. Love to see it. J2D Zilla K. Never seen that name, but I love to see it. Drew Gamble. Love to see it. And PD17C. So a couple names in there, which is awesome. Welcome to all of you to franchise membership. And thank you, Swervin Irvin, for the $25 donation. You guys, donations are great. They get the donation train out of the station. They get the donation train rolling. But if you are going to donate, I would humbly request, suggest, recommend, whatever, that you actually do it in the form of a membership donation, a membership gift, because it's still the same donation, but it actually gives people franchise membership for a month. So, okay, so your name is in timeout till February 21st. Okay, I better get used to it. So thank you. Let's give some love to Jake Gives Hockey, but I'm going to call him Swervin Irvin because he's actually Swervin Irvin. But my friends, I haven't even done the intro yet, and we ain't done. Hall of Fame member Justin Credible with the $5 donation. Prayers for safety and for those in Philly at the moment. Shots fired and riots breaking out and being out of control most of the evening. You know, I actually did not know about this. It doesn't surprise me, not because it's Philly, not because it's Eastern United. No, because this is what happens in the world right now. When people don't know how to celebrate responsibly, or they don't know how to take losses responsibly. And obviously, I'm not the pot calling the kettle black. I know the history of our city as well. And it's really sad. It's really scary. And I don't know if there's been any casualties but I'm sure there's been injuries, and it is really sad because that should be like one of the greatest days in that city's history, at least from a sporting perspective. So thank you, Just Incredible, for the $5 donation. I appreciate you. Let's give Just Incredible some love in the chat. But again, we ain't done. Fangirl Gaming uses her monthly membership message, 45 months. That's pretty amazing. Mahomes and Kelsey had terrible games. Team couldn't score until the third quarter. Too little, too late. Had 2 weeks to prepare for that Eagles defense and offense. Yep. Philly completely dominated the game in the first half, and that's all they needed to do. Kansas City had 23 yards of offense in the first half, which is absolutely crazy. Fangirl, thank you for the donation. I appreciate you. So, as I want to get going, let's get going. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, as Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thanks for your support as always. I always appreciate you, and I never ever take you for granted. And everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether my beautiful neighborhood of Seafton and Richmond, in the city, in the Lower Mainland, in the province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here with me, know how much I always appreciate you, and I never ever take you for granted. So this is how you can get involved. You can subscribe to the channel, get active in the chat section, get notified of my videos like I posted today. You can like the video. You can like the fact that we're together. You can like the fact that the Eagles won, if that's what you're into. You can like the fact that Quinn Hughes is making the mature decision not to play in the Four Nations so he can be at his best for the Vancouver Canucks. You can like the fact that the Four Nations is starting. Like the fact the Canucks are the hottest team since January 25th. Like the fact that the Canucks are 6-1-1 in their past 8. And like the fact that we continue to build the best Canucks community here on YouTube. I am convinced of it. And so thank you for all that. SGA, I hope you had a good trip on your all-inclusive. You can gift a membership, which Swervin Irvin has done. You can leave a donation, like Just Incredible has done. You can use your monthly membership message, like Fangirl has done. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your membership. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and review. So that means actually with Swervin Irvin gifting memberships, with Just Incredible donating, with Fangirl using her monthly membership message, we are actually 3/5 on our way to our high five tonight already. 10 minutes into the show, we are 3/5 to our high five. All we need is for someone to upgrade their membership, hint, hint. And all we need someone to do is buy their own membership. And I'm kind of thinking that that's kind of cool. There's a goal button here that I haven't used yet, but I could say, pick a goal. Oh no, it's got to be super chats only. Okay. But I was going to say, maybe I should make an unwritten rule that if we hit the high five in any stream, that I should do an impromptu giveaway. Okay, I'm going to start that next show, not tonight. But if we hit the high five, I will do giveaway later this week. And it might not be ticket giveaway. It might be van based, but it'll be something. So that's what I'm going to say. If we hit a high five on any night, it'll trigger a giveaway for the next a show in the next couple shows. I think that's cool because you guys are the reason why this CCC machine keeps going. And I want to give back when you guys give to me. SGA, let's talk about this offline because I may not be available that night. And Fillmore, respectfully, firstly, happy birthday. I'm glad you saw a win against Toronto, but let me and SGA handle this, please, with all due respect. I'm not sure if you were at the show that night, Fillmore, but I said that SGA kindly and humbly reached out to me that afternoon and said it wasn't going to work. And I said, no problem. So I think we can leave it right there. Okay. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Okay. So that's my declaration. Anytime we hit a high five, it will trigger a giveaway for an upcoming live stream sometime within the next 2 or 3 live streams, depending on what else is going on. And the high five is a donation, is a membership gift, is someone buying their own membership, is someone upgrading their membership, which is probably the hardest one, and then someone using their monthly membership message. Swervin Irvin, I just said it. Hey, Trev, hope you're well. Hope you had a good show. Hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl. So like I said, last time I'll say it, and then we'll actually get to some content here. Anytime we had a high five in a stream, it'll trigger a giveaway for an upcoming stream, whether it's tickets or van base. And again, the high five is donation, upgrade a membership, someone buys their own membership, someone gives a membership, and then someone used their monthly membership message. The donations and the monthly membership message usually happen. Usually someone gives a membership. I think the two tricky ones are someone buying a membership and someone upgrading their own membership. And those are the two that we're missing tonight. Okay. So not a big deal. I'm not going to say that every night. If it happens, it happens. And the more that we do it, the more that I'll be able to give back to you as a wonderful community. All right, let's go. That was enough Super Bowl talk. That was like 30 seconds worth. But we had people over, had a nice spread of food, played some games afterward, took care of some other business, and everything went well. By the way, my mom Joyce is in my house today. She came for the Super Bowl. It was her birthday last week, as you know. We treated her. I'm not sure how much of a birthday gift it was, but we treated her to some Super Bowl food today. And she's sleeping over tonight. And then she's going to work. She works from home, but she's going to head in the office, make a guest appearance at her work in Richmond. So she's in the next room. I'm not going to bring her in tonight's show, but we did talk about how the last time she slept over was indeed the time that I brought her on the show, which you guys reminded me of, which was pretty cool. Okay. What are you talking about? 30 seconds too much. What are we talking about? Filipino. I can't remember. Anyway, let's talk about two things. First, I'm going to talk about Quinn Hughes. Many of you have seen my vlog from earlier today. I recorded it actually right before kickoff, and we got news that Quinn Hughes has withdrawn from the Four Nations face-off. And I'm not going to repeat my whole vlog right now. I'd encourage you to go watch it. Not right now, but watch it maybe as soon as the stream ends. But I basically talked about how this is a blow for Team USA. It's probably a blow, not to Quinn Hughes' pride, but to his own competitive spirit. But this is an awesome decision for the Vancouver Canucks. So very quickly, without rehashing the whole vlog, obviously Quinn Hughes was going to be probably the top pairing with Charlie McAvoy. What a pairing that would have been for the U.S. Their whole team is stacked, goaltenders, defense, forwards. But a chance to play with his brother Jack as well. But ultimately, whether it was his hand, which is still he's still nursing that injury, or his new injury, which is rumored to be his oblique. I had to look it up. I thought oblique was down below, but no, it's on your side. Or a combination of both. Maybe it's his hand and his oblique. Quinn Hughes withdrew. I knew it was hard for him. We've heard quotes from Team USA that it was a hard decision for him. He was very emotional about it. But to me, it just speaks to his maturity, his character, how seriously he takes his true responsibility. I am looking forward to this Four Nations face-off because it's best on best, because there were 4 Canucks in it. Now there's only 2 because Hughes isn't playing. Miller's not a Canuck anymore, and they still have PD and Lankinen, which is great. But now I can, with Miller and not a Canuck, and with Hughes not playing, the more it helps. Sorry, I'm saying two different things. With Hughes not playing, it helps Canada's chances a little bit. I still think they're the underdog. I think US are the favorites. And then with Miller not being a Canuck anymore, I wasn't really having split allegiances, but I was admittedly I'm cheering for Canada the most always. But then US was a close second. But now with Miller not a Canuck anymore and with Hughes not playing, that gap is a little bit bigger. So I'm not sure the Canuck is enough for Canada to win. But I'll still be cheering for Canada as I was going to be, but I'll be less interested in the United States. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. Now let's turn our attention to the Vancouver Canucks. Again, this shows his character. This shows his maturity. And really, this shows just an awareness of who pays a salary. I think all these guys are smart enough to know that the NHL pays their salary. The Four Nations doesn't. And with people paying for seasons tickets, single game tickets, ice packs, whatever it may be, with people spending on the NHL club, that's got to be your priority. And I know that GMs and presidents and owners probably weren't thrilled that their star players were going to this tournament even though it's the players want to play it for sure, for the most part, I presume, including Quinn Hughes. But for the Vancouver Canucks, it means that 2 weeks of rest for Quinn Hughes. And I don't mean rest like he's not going to do anything. I'm sure he's going to be skating, working out, rehab, all those things. But that's not 3 or 4 games of wear and tear of taking body checks from, the speedy Swedish forwards or the tenacious Finland forwards or the big and fast US forwards, Canadian forwards, I should say. So that's 3 or 4 games of less wear and tear on Quinn Hughes and less chance of getting injured. But that goes for every single player that's there. I hope there's not going to be a lot of injuries, but I hope it's still good, intense, clean hockey. But we don't have to worry about Quinn Hughes getting pinned in the corner by opposing forwards. So that only means he's going to come back stronger. That only means that he's going to be a big part of the Canucks' push for a playoff spot starting on February 22nd against Vegas. If this was the Olympics, maybe it's a little different. I think Olympics means more than 4 nations, but I don't think Olympics for most guys, actually for North American players, it seems like the Stanley Cup means more than Olympics. For international players like Sweden, Europeans and stuff, I'm not saying that they put Olympics over the Stanley Cup, but I think it's a little bit closer. It would be interesting to poll all the NHL players. I think the majority of them would still say they'd prefer to win Stanley Cup over a gold medal in any international tournament, including the Olympics. But I think for a lot of people, it would be a close second. Yeah, and I'm looking at you guys. Great point, Swervin Irvin. A lot of these guys for 4 nations, they're probably doing it to be to up their resume, to up their chances of making their Olympic teams, their respective Olympic teams next year. Thank you, Hugh, for pointing out that, and you pointed out on my video too, as well, that the Olympics are only a year away, which is pretty exciting. All right, one other thing. Yeah, Adrian, UC Saros will be the starter, but given the way Lankinen's playing, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get like game number 2 or come in as soon as Saros falters. Yeah, the 2 weeks also helps Thatcher Demko get better as well. But let's see if when we get word of his injury. Rick Tocchet said it's not his knee. He basically said, everyone calm down. Last night, is not his knee. All right, let me do 10 minutes on the title of this live stream. The Canucks have completely transformed. They are the best team in the NHL since January 25th. And that includes 6 wins, 1 regulation loss to Dallas. Sadly, that was the game that Quinn Hughes got hurt. Oh, by the way, before I do this, did you know, and I said this in my vlog, Quinn Hughes has now had 2 4-game absences. He missed the 4 games at the end of December, early January when he got hurt in the San Jose game. And the Canucks only won 1 game. They went 1-2-1. But in his recent absence with the oblique injury, the Canucks have gone 3-0-1. So add it all up, the Canucks have gone 4-2-2 in Quinn Hughes' absence. They actually have 10 points out of 16. I'm not saying that I want this to last any longer, but I'm very impressed by the way the Canucks have played in Quinn Hughes' absence. And that kind of leads into this new topic now of the Canucks have completely transformed. So since January 25th, they beat, actually I can show you what the Canucks have done, because I think it paints a really, really good picture, a really, really good, encouraging picture for the Canucks coming out of the 4 Nations break. Here we go. They beat Washington 2-1 at home. That was a good win. Then they beat St. Louis in St. Louis 5-2. Just love beating Jordan Binnington. Then they beat Nashville 3-1. So there's a 3-game win streak. Then they lost to Dallas. Unfortunately, that was the game that Quinn Hughes got hurt. And then they proceeded to lose to Detroit in overtime. But then they shut out the Colorado Avalanche. They get by the San Jose Sharks. And they beat Toronto yesterday in a wicked game. I wasn't there. I was at church. I had a chance to go, actually. I got offered tickets, but I wasn't able to go. but my son Sean and his girlfriend Cheska were there, which is pretty cool. And it looked awesome. I was able to watch some of the highlights. I did a goal breakdown. It's actually my biggest goal breakdown video of the year. It has over 2,000 views. I'm not sure it's because it's the Canucks beating Toronto. I'm not sure if it's because I titled it PD was old PD last night because I thought Pettersson played well. And I think there's just a lot of good vibes around this team right now. I see it in the views of my videos and stuff like that, and in the engagement and in the generosity of all of you. So surprise, surprise. The better the Canucks do, the better my channel does, and the better that I think all content creators do. So let's get back to this. The Canucks are 6-1-1 in their past 8 games. 6-1-1 in the past. They are now in sole possession of the second wildcard spot. Remember, just 4 games ago, they were behind Calgary by 2. They're behind Calgary by 2. So that means in the past 4 games, they have outpointed Calgary by 5. And that would make sense because the Canucks are on a 3-game win streak and the Calgary's probably gone like 1-1-4 or something, or 2-1-4, 2-1-3 in those 6 games. So it's nice that we've basically gained 5 points on Calgary. Now we have Colorado in our sights, 2 games behind them, 2 fewer games, but only 5 points. You win those outright, and we're only 1 point behind Colorado. Basically, by getting a second wild card, you're going to face Winnipeg, who are 9 points up, and then by finishing in the first wild card spot, you're going to get the Pacific Division winner, whether that's going to be Edmonton or Vegas. You could say we're only 2 points behind LA, but they got 2 games in hand, so I'm not going to jump that, bridge that gap just yet. All right. Here's the reason why. Here are many reasons why the Canucks are doing so well. We don't have to go through every single part of the trade, but here's a few things. Collectively, the Canucks are faster. JT Miller was not the fastest skater ever, but he had his bursts for sure. He could skate fast for short periods of time, both on offense and defense. But just think, not just JT Miller, but think Danton Heinen got traded. He's not very fast. He's okay. And Vincent Desharnais got traded. He's definitely not very fast. So even if you go 3 for 3 and you look at Chytil and O'Connor for Miller and Heinen in a speed skating short track or long track race, you know Chytil and O'Connor are going to wipe Miller and Heinen. And then on defense, you don't care so much about speed, but it's basically Marcus Pettersson versus Vincent Desharnais. I don't know if I need to see a sprint between those guys. Okay. So the Canucks are faster, and it shows in how aggressive they are on the forecheck. It shows how aggressive they are on the back check, and how they are simply clogging lanes, retrieving pucks. And when O'Connor and Chytil have the puck on their stick, it's not just dump it in the corner and try and lay a hit on a defenseman. It's actually bring the puck over the blue line with speed. So that's number one. And these aren't in priority order. I just think that there's, you notice the speed for sure. Secondly, the defense is so much better. I said when you looked at both trades put together that Marcus Pettersson, the fact that the Canucks addressed their biggest deficiency, the blue line, made them not overwhelming winners of the trades put together, but as soon as, even before Marcus Pettersson signed his long-term extension, of course I was hoping that he would. I was already heralding it as a win for the Canucks only because I thought addition by subtraction with JT Miller, I thought Chytil, especially, and O'Connor were going to be underrated performers. And I especially liked the add of Marcus Pettersson and Mancini to a lesser extent. But then when Pettersson signs a 6-year deal for 5.5 each, no brainer, slam dunk to me. That is a win of a trade. I don't care if it's only been a week, because you have now shored up your D, Hughes, Hronek, and Pettersson for the next few years. And I'm presuming that they do re-sign Quinn Hughes. But it's one thing to say, okay, Marcus Pettersson is a bit better than Desharnais. But when you watch Pettersson play, I've seen him play once live, and I've been watching him a lot. Everything I saw on that very first game against Detroit, I've seen since. He's calm. He's poised. He's not perfect. He's not error-free, but rarely does he do a bad giveaway. Rarely does he lose a battle. He's great at deflecting pucks with a stick. He's great at making a little first pass out of the zone. He doesn't have to skate it out all the time. A nice first pass. And Rick Tocchet talked about last night how him and Tyler Myers, they look like they've been playing together for years. For years. That's how good they are. And even the Toronto Maple Leafs coach and all their players said they had trouble getting to the middle of the ice because the defense has got some really active sticks and they take up a lot of room. And that's Pettersson and Myers. But not just those guys. DPD, what a revelation. He can skate. He can hit. He stands up for his teammates. He can move the puck. He can shoot and actually find the net. So DPD has been a bit of a revelation. And he wasn't even involved in any of these trades, just by fluke of timing and the Canucks struggling a little bit. He gets brought up and he's been wonderful. Derek Forbort has stepped up. He's playing in the top pairing with Hronek, so Pettersson MPD can play with Myers. And then the Noah Juleson experiment has seemed to end for a little bit because Carson Soucy is playing ahead of him on Carson Soucy's offside. And we know how much Rick Tocchet like lefties on the left, righties on the right. But even he knows that Carson Soucy on the right side, on his offside, is better probably 9 games out of 10 than Noah Juleson. And I'm not even a Juleson hater. He's a serviceable 7, 8, 9 guy, but those guys are interchangeable. That's why we traded Mark Friedman to the Nashville Predators for the vaunted future considerations. So on the blue line, Marcus Pettersson has been a huge addition. Derek Forbort has stepped up. DPD has been a revelation. And Carson Soucy, after that 1 game benching, has played some of his best hockey of the season. Then you have forward Elias Pettersson. He's not perfect, but he had a great game against Toronto, so we need to see more of that. I'm not giving him a full, complete pass yet, but we need to see more of him, more games like that. And then our goaltending, despite the injury, has been outstanding the past few games. The Canucks are winning these low-scoring games, 2-1, 2-1, 3-2. It is very similar to how the Canucks were winning at the end of last season. Remember at the start of last season, they were scoring so much. They went on that PDO heater, and it did fall off after the All-Star break, where the Canucks had to play a bit more defensive, but they had trees back there, right? It was Hughes and Hronek, but then it was Myers, Soucy, Zadorov, and Cole. Well, now it's no more Zadorov and Cole, but it's MPD and DPD and Soucy and Myers and Hughes and Hronek when he's healthy. And now you got Forbort, who basically takes over from Ian Cole as well. So your defense is probably better. Actually, I know a lot of people love Zadorov, but I think our defense is better, and they're showing it right now. So remember, they're doing this all without Quinn Hughes. We're not sure about Demko's status, so there's still a lot of ifs, a lot of uncertainty. But I will say, given all the chaos, all the tumult from October to the end of January, it is nice that we have a team that is playing for one another, that seems cohesive, that are playing the right way, playing Rick Tocchet style, and they're, most importantly, they're winning games. And that is the biggest thing. All right, thank you. I went on for a good 10 minutes there. That was not scripted. There's no notes here. One take wonder. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it certainly doesn't work out. But I definitely thought about what I was going to say today, and I wanted to be able to share that with you. So maybe I want to hear from you in a couple of minutes. But first, let me do my Mitchell sponsor read, and I start off by thanking my primary sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Thank you to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. You can check him out at coachpatrickliu.com/clay and receive a free 5-day workout when you do so. Thank you to Gassy Jet Art, maker of that fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks of your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Thanks to everyone who's bought Canuck Clay merch already. You can do that at canuckclay.threadless.com. That helps me out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Reminder of the shows this week. They are on So there's no Canucks After Dark tomorrow because Parker is out of town. He's overseas actually for a work trip. So we're not doing Canucks After Dark, and it works out that there's no Canucks really to talk. Well, there is, but there isn't. You know what I mean? So I will do shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 11 this week. Definitely tomorrow we'll do Four Nations talk. We didn't need to do it today because they have to set their rosters tomorrow. Tuesday we'll do a true preview because Canada plays on Wednesday. Wednesday will be a recap of that game and anything else. And then members will be on Thursday. Members will be on Thursday. So those are my shows for the week. And a reminder, this is how you get involved tonight. You can subscribe to the channel. You can like the video, leave a donation, gift a membership, buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership, use your monthly membership message, and rate and review if you're listening to a podcast on a podcast platform. And guess what, you guys? Hugh has stepped up with and bought his own membership. So we are 4/5 to making our high five. And I'll tell you the ramifications about that in a second. But let's welcome Hugh as a franchise member. So welcome Hugh to the franchise membership. Nice to see you. Good timing as our members live stream is this Thursday. So let's get some love to Hugh in the chat. And I know you've been commenting a lot in the streams and on my videos. So I appreciate you being part of this community, Hugh. Thank you. Russell, I would love to hear if it's someone else. You said that is not, you want to vote E, whereas 39% said Chytil. 29% said MPD or meaty, as I like to say. 23% said DPD, and 7% said Drew O'Connor. But nothing is perfect says he wants to vote E. So Russell. Oh, sorry, all of the above. I thought you meant none of the above. I was going to say, well, who else? Who did I miss? Mancini? No, all of the above. Okay, Russell, we're good. We're good. Lastly. I proclaimed that if I hit the high five in any show, that's the 5 different types of support: donation, membership gift, upgrade your membership, buy your own membership, use your monthly membership message. If we hit the high five in any show, it'll trigger a giveaway for a future show within the week. And we are 4/5 there. So all we need is for a franchise member to upgrade to Hall of Fame. I know it's a big ask. Or all we need is a Hall of Fame to upgrade to Legend, which is even a bigger ask. But if it happens, it will trigger a giveaway for sure. All right, Canucks fans, tell me for the next 20 minutes or so, tell me anything you want. Talk about Quinn Hughes withdrawing. Do you agree with my sentiment that this is best for the Vancouver Canucks? I'm sure you will. Tell me your number one reasons why the Canucks have turned things around. Update on Demko, didn't hear a thing. Some are saying that it was actually in warm-up that he tweaked something. And we saw some footage about that. So, Adrian, hopefully we hear more. All we know is Tocchet said it's not his knee. How good is this upcoming free agency hype? Is it worth it to do trades and signing a free agent? The class isn't great. It's not bad, but I think the free agent class for 2026 is much better. So you always have to factor that in when you're talking about rentals. Yeah, Brock Nelson, he's okay. And aren't Ryan O'Reilly's best days behind him? But he is a right shot center, right? So maybe he does fill a need. Not sure what his contract is. This team is also deeper in terms of management, bringing in players who can help weather the storm of Demko absences, Besser, Miller, Hornet, Hughes all being out at some point. Great point. Their depth has been tested, and they've passed the test with flying colors. Filmer, I will not disagree with you. I will not disagree with you, man. By the way, are you still in town, or did you fly back already, Filmer? Yes. It's not hard to connect the dots, is it? Oh, Tocchet said it wasn't anything to do with warm-up. Thank you, Viper. Thank you for that. Do you think Quinn's Four Nation jersey is going to go on sale? He's technically not part of the team, right? But I'm sure they printed a bucket load. Yeah, good question. Well, he's on the team. He just couldn't fulfill his obligation. I'm sure they'll still sign him. Yes, I agree. Russell should keep up the good work. I don't get a chance to watch because I barely get to watch the games live if I'm not at them. So I'm glad those shows are going well. Shannon, we won't pressure him, but thank you. The free agent class is too heavy. Also, he was really mean to Pettersson in the locker room, yelling at him, saying some crude names and getting it with a video coach. Yeah, there's some stories out there for sure that are making the rounds. Miller drama in New York already? I had not heard about that. Would Hughes missing games hinder his chances of winning awards? Yes and no, Adrian. In a weird sort of way, he's, as I outlined in my vlog today, he's played 10 fewer games than Makar, but is only 4 points behind. So if Hughes can get back and catch Makar once again in the scoring race for defensemen, I know the Norris isn't just about the offensive defenseman, but it seems like it, right? If he can catch Makar playing 10 fewer games, then that helps his chances for sure. Hey, Angelo says, don't get my hopes high. Okay, I want to though. Who do you pull out of the top 6 when Hughes comes back? I think it's DPD. Unfortunately, as good as he's been, I think ultimately you want Susie. Yeah. No, yeah. Do you go Hughes, Hronek? This is a good question. Hughes, Hronek, MPD, Myers. No, sorry. You take Forbert out. You take Forbert out because you still need a lefty to play on the right side. So you take Forbert out. You just Forbert's basically a placeholder for Hughes, or you take DPD out and you put Forbert in his spot on the third pairing and Susie. I think if Tocchet wants a veteran he can trust, he'll take DPD out. So yeah, I could see it being Hughes, Hronek, MPD, Myers, Forbert, Susie. But you have DPD knocking on the door. Ryan O'Reilly is mad, but could help on faceoffs. You're still here? Okay, cool, Fillmore. For how long? Miller being out of the room has more to do with the vibe than a lot. Turning around than a lot. Sorry, I know how to read. Miller being out of the room has more to do with the vibe turning around than a lot of us want to admit. Probably yes. And right away, I said it was addition by subtraction. I wasn't the only guy saying it, but I certainly was one of the guys beating that drum. Do you expect the NHL's trade deadline to be as busy as the NBA's? Maybe not with the rim rockers. Pun intended, but I think it will be busy because there's so much parity, Adrian, especially in the East. There's so many teams vying for those wildcard spots. I think it might be a busy trade deadline. I really do. What do the Canucks trade the first pick this year? Huh? What do the Canucks trade? The first pick this year or a top 3 prospect? Hopefully neither. Their first round pick though is only going to be middle, so that's better than one of their Villander, Lekaramaki for sure. Locker room morale is at its best. I even sense it just on body language and communication on the ice. I really do. Coming out of the tourney, assuming Quinn is healthy, who comes out? Oh yes, someone else just asked that. I think Forbert drops down the third line, and then DPD sits out. Miller leaving is the reason why. That's fair, Carol. Score predictions will be the four nations. I will save that, Simon, till later in the week. Murray says, what do future considerations actually mean? Murray, it means one of two things. It can mean both. Firstly, it basically means that there's hardly no value in the trade. That's why Daniel Sprong was traded for future considerations. Mark Friedman was traded for future considerations. At the time, they couldn't agree to any considerations that would make it equal. What a future consideration usually ends up being is either cash. I don't know how I'll give you $20. No, it's more than $20, but it's either cash or it's a draft pick, which obviously is going to be like a 6 or 7 rounder. You're not getting a first, second, or third for a future consideration, then you would have named that. So expect if we ever hear, or maybe it's a swap of a draft pick, we get to move up later in a 5th or 6th or 7th round. So it can be one of those 3 things. It's either cash, it's either a draft pick, or it's a swap of draft picks. So sometimes you might hear a draft. Vancouver and Nashville have swap picks in the 6th round as a condition of the Mark Friedman trade from February. I know it's not meant to be much, and that's the whole point of future considerations. I hope we can sign Lankinen. We would be in trouble if we lose him and Demko gets hurt. I agree. How likely is it that the Canucks do a reversal last season and go on a tear from now to the end of the season instead of limping? I'd be fine with that. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure how likely that is, Darren. Last time I was here, JT wasn't playing, and now I'm up here. That's true. So, Fillmore, every time you plan a trip home, something happens with JT Miller. Fans are already switching up on Miller. Okay, I have to read up on that. I don't want that to happen. Points per game is much higher than Makar. It is indeed. Canucks wouldn't be on a roll if management didn't make the 2 splashes for sure. Yeah, it would I think the team would be dying a slow death, to be honest with you. Trade deadline for the Canucks, I think they'll make a couple of minor moves, but not anything major. You check his stats when the Rangers play. Adrian, I don't know a lot of Kendrick Lamar songs. I know Humble. I know Not Like Us. But my son Sean, my brother-in-law Pat, they knew a lot of his songs. But even if it was my favorite rapper, I found it very underwhelming. The visual of the actual long stage, the overhead shot, the lights, okay. The actual showmanship wasn't there. I know everyone was just talking about how he dissed Drake. I get that. But I liken it to other ones that we've seen. I even liken it to my favorite one, the West Coast one from California a couple years ago with Dr. Dre, and Kendrick Lamar was in that one. Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, and that 50 Cent. That one had elaborate sets, changing sets. 50 Cent rapping, hanging upside down. Live music is a big one too. Live music, and I know Kendrick Lamar, because of his type of music, it's better with tracks. I get it. But I'm a sucker for live music. I'm a sucker for showmanship, and maybe I'm showing. It's not even like I'm a boomer, and I don't like. I like that kind of music. Some of that kind of music. So it wasn't a big hit for me. What do you think the effect on the players that have seen this management group isn't afraid to make in-season changes? The effect on that is. That's why, maybe that's another thing too. The Canucks players aren't playing scared, but they're certainly playing with a lot of pride, and they think that they can do it from the guys that are within there. I think it has a good effect, Derek, that guys need to be on their toes, and I think it's great for fans that management isn't afraid to make changes. I agree it'll be DPD, forward player Susie. I think so. Already fragile locker room plus Miller. That went wrong. No way. Hughes, Myers, Hronik, MPD, Spicy, DPD. Yeah, I think Forbert gets in over DPD. I hear you, Zal, but you got to think from Tocchet's perspective too. No, I don't like 11 and 7. It just messes up line combinations and your flow. That's why we rarely do it. It's not like DPD or Derek Forbert are so good that they're indispensable. DPD has been a great story for sure, but he's not indispensable. And remember, he's so young. He's a rookie. He's got so much in front of him for sure. Oh, you leave on Tuesday night. Gotcha. Forbert because of PK. The real rift was Hughes Miller, and he's skipping the Four Nations to avoid playing with JT again. I'm sure that's the story, Swervin Irvin. O'Reilly's too old. How many injuries do we see? I don't know. Maybe, let's say one from each team. I hope not. I don't want anyone to get hurt. Who would have thought Myers can still function as a top 4D? Just need the right partner. Great point, Zal. Do you think if PD leaves the Canucks, it will make Hughes less motivated to sign with us again? It certainly wouldn't hurt. I mean, it certainly wouldn't help his chances for sure. I don't know if Quinn Hughes just puts because it depends on the return we get, right? If we get a really good return that seemingly makes our team even more competitive, I think Hughes will see that. Like, I know they're close, but Hughes to me seems like he's got a really good head on his shoulders, and he'll understand the reasons why. Yeah, Donato has played really well in the past month. That's a great point. Nice. Is he a free agent? So if Friedman traded, there's apparently 12.6 available at the trade deadline. What would you trade for and trade away to make the team ready for the playoffs? Hey, Gerald, I tried to answer this question actually, and the members asked me anything that I posted already, so maybe you haven't seen it yet. I would have to really look at it. Like I looked at some, upcoming free agents. Patrick Kane admittedly kind of intrigues me. $4 million from Detroit, but I don't know if he's got any game left in him. You're not going to get anyone from a contender because they're not going to trade him. So you have to look at teams like Detroit and Buffalo and Chicago and those guys. So I do got to think about this one, Joe, a little bit more for sure. If the NHL playoffs started today, I think Winnipeg makes it to the conference final against Edmonton. So we could see an all-Canadian Western Conference final. That means Vancouver loses and won the first 2 rounds. That means Calgary doesn't make it. I think Ottawa doesn't make it at the end. Montreal doesn't make it. And Toronto loses in the first round. 2 back-to-backs. Yeah, that first one I'm watching in Vegas, and then they go to Utah. So I don't know. I'm hoping for wins in those games. What's the other back-to-back? So we got Vancouver, Vegas. Oh, and then we got Kings, Ducks. Yeah, maybe we're going to split. Maybe we might go 2-2. Do you think we pass LA in the standings and face Edmonton or Vegas in the first round? I don't think so. And we could face Edmonton or Vegas in the first round, Chris, if we just catch Colorado, actually, for the first wild card spot. I think LA is going to be tough to pass, but we are playing very well. What do you do now with Demko's injury status for a new contract or trade? Well, he's still got 1 year, Dan, under contract after the season, so you actually don't have to do anything. No, future considerations, well, depends on your definition of good. They're a little bonus that we're going to realize in a few months, but it basically means we traded a guy for nothing. If the Canucks use that first rounder to acquire Rasmus Andersson, would it be a similar trade or more? We need to do more than that pick. I think it would have to be a first and a player for Rasmus Andersson, but that's only if Calgary's out of the playoff running, because they're the one team that's trying to chase us right now. You heard future consideration is an elite goal scorer. Well, we're getting 2 of them. That's awesome then. Oh, you agree about the... Thank you, AJ. I know you're that's more your kind of music. I'm not sure why I'm doing this, but yes. Halftime show is boring. My gut agrees with Darren. I can't shake the feeling that the Canucks are going to be really good down the stretch. I love it. We don't have to shake that feeling, Russell. Keep it. Don't shake that away. Love hip hop, but it doesn't lend itself well to live shows. I agree, especially stadium shows. I like Miller gone because he was such a polar opposite to everyone else on the team. Everyone was so nice, chill, and calm. With him gone, the team looks more calm and focused. That's true. I do hope that there's enough talkers in there, but it sounds like Marcus Pettersson is quite a talker in a good way. Public Enemy, I could see that. Purple Rain by Prince. Some love for Russell. 2000 Super Bowl. I got to go look that up. Who is that one? Swervin. Petey got scammed trying to buy property in Sweden, but the repairs would be needed a lot to be exact. He sued the realtor now that the realtor is in prison. I knew nothing about that. Where did you hear that story, fangirl? They would never use live music in a setting like that. Even if you saw a band, it would just be for a visual. Yeah, no, for sure. I hear you, Drew. I get it. Given the magnitude of a stadium like that. I fully understand and would appreciate if even that one that I love, that was all like, it's not lip syncing, but you know what I mean? Like playing either over or to, or pretend to be playing behind a track for sure. I hear you. Katy Perry's was fun. Left Shark. Braden Shen. I used to like him before, not so much now. What's his contract status though? No, Juleson is still... Hey, Honorable James Moore. I think Juleson's still with us, right? As a healthy scratch. Hughes isn't the type of guy to just leave. Sharks on stage. Yeah, I thought the Bruno Mars one was excellent. DPD can play the PK if he has to, but I don't think he will, given the other not bigger, but more experienced bodies you have there. I was surprised that Eagles beat the snot out of the Chiefs. Watching Toffoli and in the San Jose and Leafs game makes me feel like we should have never let them go. Especially, yeah, I know Indigo, but that was 4.5 years ago now. Jimbo round time, indeed. Yeah, let's go for Bedard. Chiefs couldn't score. Yep. Yes, very excited for the trip, Adrian. Okay, so really quickly, Adrian, you would appreciate this because you promote shows, you run shows, and you know my love of old school hip hop music. So I'm warning everyone, this is going to be about a minute explanation, but you're going to feel my pain. New Edition, my favorite band, my favorite pop R&B band in the entire world, New Edition and Boyz II Men. New Edition has a residency at the Wynn. That residency ends on Saturday night, February the 22nd, the night that we are there to watch the Canucks play the Vegas Golden Knights. We fly in on Friday night, the 21st, with our flight scheduled to land at 8. New Edition show starts at 8 at the Wynn. So I am planning on calling the Wynn tomorrow and asking them what time New Edition actually takes the stage. Because if it's closer to 8:30 or 9, I will Uber my butt over to the Wynn from the Vegas airport to watch my favorite band, even though I've watched the whole concert on YouTube already. But if they take the stage at 8, I don't think that's the best use of my resources, especially if my flight is late. So that's basically the biggest story is for Friday. I'm going to figure out if I'm going to get to the New Edition show. Then we'll do Korean barbecue. Saturday, I'll probably explore a little bit before the hockey game. Sunday, find mass. And then figure out what we're going to do Sunday and Monday. See a show for sure. I kind of want to see Shin Lim when I'm down there. I'm a sucker for illusionist magic, illusionist things. But we'll see. Probably a bit of playing, a lot of eating, a bit of shopping. That's the plan. Nick Ehlers. Yeah, he is a UFA this summer. Donato and Alec Martinez. Nucks, Oilers, and Sens Leafs. That would be crazy. Best version of the lotto line was Miller, Petey, Toffoli. Steak, sizzle, and a veteran press. I like that. Did I see the brawl after the Hong Kong versus Turkmenistan Asian winter game? A Turk player literally threw a punch in the face. No. Was that today? Knuckleback? Hogs or something along the lines is gone for Anderson, which would be sad to see. Yep. How are the Canucks the hottest team in the league when the Jets have won 8 in a row? Have the Jets really won 8 in a row? If that's the case... Oh, yeah. My bad. I don't know what I was looking at. Oh, thank you. James, I just got your message. Thank you. Oh, you know why? Ball hockey, thank you for pointing that out. I think what I saw was 2 of those wins from the Jets were before January 25th, which I use as my cutoff because that's when Vancouver went on their 6 out of 8 streak. So you're right. Winnipeg has won 8 straight. And if we just back it up a couple days before that. Yeah, so it's just that I thought Winnipeg won on January 22nd and January 24th. Then my little cutoff started, and then they've won 6 straight since then. So yeah, they're 6-0, but they only have 12 points where we have 13 in that time. But great point. Thanks for that correction, ball hockey. Appreciate that. No problem, Gerald. I'd like to see Toffoli as a Canuck again. Yeah, he's getting a little old. Garland is on fire. He looks the hungriest out there. That's fair. Erroneous punk. That's fair. Do you know what the contents of the futures were? Nope. I don't, Skychair Nelfin, and we won't know until it's announced, and it'll be very underwhelming. I'm telling you right now. Oh, Prince was 2007 for sure. Garland deserves an A. Cal Corvus traded for futures, which ended up being money and a photocopier. Are you serious about the photocopier? I'll take like a bar fridge. Toffoli wasn't great in the playoffs last year. Okay, that's fair. We don't need another defenseman. Yes, and Honorable James Moore just sent it to me, which was nice of him. I've been saying give DP a look since December. Yep. Who's 2003? I agree. We need a top 6 forward. Garland with the A, potentially. I think so. Mancini's young. He'll get up here eventually. Love-hate relationship with hip-hop. Our ages are exposed with our favorite halftime shows. That's a good point. Scam for 240. Maestro Fresh West. Let your backbone slide. They should just let Taylor Swift do the halftime show. Would have been better than that. Winner, I can talk to you about that off stream if you want. Blazers fan, I'm happy that the Eagles won. I just don't care about trolling Cowboys. Oh, I didn't know about that. For Tannen was the Nucks Yakupov. Janet Jackson at Resorts World. Ah, that's a good one. That's up my alley too. Taylor wouldn't have done the halftime show this year with her boyfriend playing. I didn't watch like every single second, but did they only show Taylor once? Or was it more? I do remember they're showing her at least once. Yeah, Adrian, the vlogging thing, as much as I love doing this Canuck stuff, I don't do a lot of just freestyle or lifestyle vlogging. But maybe I get some footage. We'll see. Airport to win isn't far. Thank you, Gerald. I'll take that advice. I go on Friday the 21st, Carol. If we re-sign Besser, it'll be on trade deadline. Yeah, and then it puts all that to rest, right? I like our chances if we play the Jets first round. Oh, I don't. Garland does well with the new guys. Invictus Games, indeed. Yeah, I like the Bruno Mars ones. when they did 24 Karat Magic. And I liked Michael Jackson back in the day. I did. Can't wait for Verlander. Jets wins are fake news. Do you or anyone think Jake DeBrusk is very inconsistent? Yes. We can't get him better line mates. He has our best line mates. The book on him was that he was streaky, and he's showing that to be true. What would be a bigger hit to respective teams if this player didn't play? Crosby for Canada or Hughes for US? Crosby's leadership is undeniable, but what Quinn can do with the puck in all three areas of the ice, it's unmatchable. And Crosby is getting up there in age. He's not the best player in the league where you could say Quinn is the best defenseman. I think the U.S. is going to feel it, but I think Canada will feel it too if Crosby doesn't play. 327, and you got to move to 118. Nice. That's awesome. How'd you get to move, Fillmore? That's great. That's great. That is awesome, Fillmore. I thought you only get to sit. Yeah. How did you get upgraded? That's awesome. As long as DeBrusk is on a hot streak in the playoffs, it's all good. I agree. I feel Canucks should not trade Susie. I feel it can still do well, but just having bad luck. Yeah, and I think it lit a fire under him for sure. Who do you think will be the captain if Crosby is out? Who are the assistants? Is it McCarr and McDavid? I think it will be McDavid. Crosby is a real leader. My friend had a friend that did not stay, so we were able to sit there. Nice, nice, nice. The fake green man jump over the glass. I saw a quick clip of that for sure. Lots of Bruins fans were saying DeBrusk is always good in the playoffs. Okay. Some friend got red to give me a game puck. Sweet. For your birthday. Perfect birthday gift. Oh, Van Base has had Hughes USA jerseys on sale for about a week now. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, friends, I'm going to wrap up there. I caught up to the questions and comments. Thank you for all of them, even the ones that are trying to bait me, and you guys know who you are. Thanks to everyone for being here. It was a good day. It was a good weekend for me. I hope you guys had a good weekend, and really appreciate you hanging out for some Canucks and Four Nations talk tonight. Reminder of my shows this week. There's no Canucks After Dark, so I will start at 11 o'clock sharp tomorrow, do a bit of Four Nations preview, continue that on Tuesday, and then Wednesday will be a recap of the Canada game, and then Thursday will be a members-only live stream. So, moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legends, that's legendary Lucas Gates and legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. Thanks for your support as always. Don't forget, I just posted my members Ask Me Anything video for all of you. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. On your way out, you can like the video, you can subscribe, and you can leave a late donation. Thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach, and thanks to everyone who went above and beyond. And tonight, we hit 4 of the high 5. Swervin Irvin gifted 5 memberships. That's $25 donation. Thank you, Swervin Irvin. Just Incredible with the $5 donation. Thank you. Fangirl used her monthly membership message. And thank you. And Hugh bought himself a franchise membership, which is awesome. Maybe we'll hit the high 5 another time, but for tonight, we were almost there. Don't forget to rate the bad joke out of 10 on the way out. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 11 p.m. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. By the way, before the Super Bowl, I went on a little bit of a jog and I ran into a lamppost. Yes, I ran into a lamppost during my jog. But luckily, I only sustained light injuries. Light injuries. God bless. And go Canucks go. Booyah.